Okay, our today's chapter is heat transfer. This chapter number 6. Okay, uh, in this chapter mainly you have to learn about thermal expansion. Thermal expansion. That means when a substance is heated, the substance expands. You have to learn about that. Expansion can take place in the length of the body. Yes.
So which chapter to come for
You had some
physics?
questions? No, this will not come. This will come in the final component. Till chapter number 5. Okay, till light. I told you already. So 1 to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, these are the 5 chapters coming. This chapter is talking about thermal expansion. What is the meaning of thermal expansion? On heating, a substance expands, and on cooling, the substance contracts. The expansion can take place significantly in the length. Sometimes it takes place in the form of area, and it may even take place in the form of volume. Substance expanding on heat, what is it called? Thermal expansion. And on cooling, when it contracts, then we call it thermal contraction. Thermal contraction. Expansion or contraction depends on 3 factors. You can write down thermal expansion of a substance depends on 3 factors. Can you guess what are those factors? Number 1, change of temperature. Change in temperature, the first factor, change in temperature. Second factor, nature of the substance. Nature of the substance. And the third one, original dimension or size, you can write original dimension or size, original size of the body, size of the substance, size of the body also we can write it. These are the 3 factors on which the thermal expansion of a substance or of a body depends. These are the 3 factors. Matter of common observation, more the change of temperature, more the expansion will take place. Less the temperature difference, less the expansion will take place. We are suppose having a substance and we are maintaining high temperature. We are changing the temperature by a greater value, then expansion will be more. If you change the temperature by a smaller value, the expansion will be less. And second factor is nature of the substance. Some substance by nature expands more and some expands less. I give example like plastic and steel. Take both of them of same size and change their temperature by same value. You will find that the plastic is expanding more than the steel or than the iron. So it depends upon the nature also. Some liquids also have tendency to expand more and some liquid will be expanding less. It depends upon the nature of the substance. And it depends upon the original size or original dimension of the substance. We are having shorter length of wire and we are having longer length of the wire. And we are maintaining same material wire and we are maintaining the same temperature difference. You will find that the shorter length wire will be expanding less and the longer length wire will be expanding more. So that means expansion even depends on the original size of the body. If the size is bigger, there will be more expansion. If the size is smaller, less expansion. It depends upon the size also. So these are the three factors on which the thermal expansion in a substance depends. Understood? Please share your response. If you have understood, tell me yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Now, as I told, there are three types of thermal expansion. There are three types. Number one, three types of thermal expansion. Number one is linear expansion. Second one is superficial or area, you can say superficial or area expansion. Third one is volume, or we will use the term cubical, that is volume expansion. Three types of expansion we have. If we are having a wire, what is the example of linear expansion? Suppose we are having a wire, long wire we have, and we are heating the wire from some degree Celsius to some degree Celsius. Wire thickness is almost negligible, no, like in comparison to the length. So there we will not bother about the change in the thickness, but we will bother in the change in the length.
Excuse me, so what is that?
Wire will have, yes. Huh? What is?
So what is that second one? Second.
Superficial or area. Superficial or area expansion. So wire and all, they've got length. So when its length expands, we say that linear expansion. Okay, like railway track and all, wire hanging in between the poles. Okay, all these are the example of linear expansion. We'll bother the linear expansion, in lengthwise expansion. How much is the increase in the length taking place? We'll be concerned with that. Such an expansion is linear expansion. Area expansion example can be, we will take a, say, for example, this is called ring, okay, or a circular disc. We will find that this one is expanding, everywhere it's expanding in all directions. So superficial expansion. And the last one is cubical, the volume, the entire volume, length, breadth and height, all are changing. Such an expansion is called cubical or volume expansion. Okay? Say okay or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, there are reasons type questions. There are reasons type questions based on all these. Okay, you have to find the reason for it. Okay, this is based on our common observation. Okay, I give examples. Linear expansion can be advantageous, can be disadvantageous also. Question comes like this, listen. Why there is a gap left between the two rails in railway tracks? In railway tracks, they are showing the diagram also in the book. You can have a look at it. I show you the diagram. You can see the diagram given here. No, once. Yes, they have given a diagram on page number 113, 113. 113. Can you see the figure 6.8? Gap between the two rails. You can just have a look at it. The railway track, the one long track and another long track are joined with the nut and bolt. That is called fish plate. That is known as fish plate. They are showing there in the diagram. And between the two railway tracks are when connected with one another, so they are not joined, touching each other. They do not touch each other. There will be a gap left. We are showing the gap also there. Can you see that gap? Page 113, boys. Please see the
Yes,
figure
sir.
6.8. Why there is a gap left there? The gap is left so that, or keeping in view, the linear expansion during summertime. The track canal has got length. If during summertime, if the expansion takes place in the track, so where can we adjust or where can we accommodate that expansion? That expansion is accommodated in between the gap. If you don't leave any gap between them, what will happen? Expansion both the sides will cause the track to be, like the track, one track, another track, they may cross one another over here. They may be over one another like this. And that may cause even accidents. Have you understood what I said?
Yes, sir.
Once again, what do you say? If between one track and another track, if there is a gap here, so then during summertime this will expand, this will also expand, this side also will expand, this way lengthwise. So this gap will be filled with the extended length. The gap will accommodate or will be adjusting the linear expansion so that accident does not take place. But if you keep one track and another track just touching in the beginning, touching each other, when the expansion taking place, where can we accommodate that expansion? That expansion cannot be accommodated. That will result the tracks to become like this. Expansion will go this way, both will be climbing with one another like this. Both of them will climb with one another, and as a result, the surface will not be plane. When the train will be flying on such surface, there is a chance of accident. So the gap between the rails accommodates or adjusts the linear expansion. Have you understood?
Yes, sir.
Tell me, boys. Same thing they are showing here. Figure
Yes, sir.
page 112. Okay. Construction of a bridge. They are showing a bridge. Bridges
Yes, sir.
are kept on the rollers. They are showing rollers over there. Can you see the rollers? And between
Yes,
the
sir.
rollers
Two rollers.
and two rollers, between the rollers and the wall, there is a gap left, little gap left over there. And the other side also there is a gap. Why little gap is left? The reason is the same. Because during summertime, when the expansion of the bridge will take place, the roller will be moving. And the roller will be coming and will be fitting into the gap, which is left to accommodate the linear expansion. If the gap is not left, what will happen? The bridge will be hitting the wall and the wall may break or the pillar may break. The
Yes,
pillar
sir.
or the wall may break over there. Same reason. And same thing happens during winter time. During winter time, the contraction will take place. The bridge will slightly decrease like this. The roller will bring it closer like this. Will decrease the reduce the length during summer, winter time. That is the reason why the rollers, bridges are shaped on the rollers, and there will be a gap between the rollers and the pillars. I think you
Yes,
understood
sir.
it. They have given it in the or there also in the diagram they are showing, and they have written that also. If there is any rise or fall in temperature during summer or winter, girder may expand or contract without affecting the pillar and the bridge. The bridge and the pillar will not be affected. If you don't leave a gap, then the bridge will be hitting the pillar may break, or the pillar, if it is touching the pillar there, and during winter time it contracts, again the pillar will be pulled towards one another, and again it may break. So to prevent that, it is done. Have you understood? Yes, boys.
Yes, sir.
These are the cases now where we are concerned with the expansion in the length, linear expansion. We are dealing with a linear expansion. And you must have seen, between one pipe, water pipe. I'm talking about water connecting water pipes which we are using at home. One pipe and another pipe, they are joined with one another with a socket. Have you seen? Have you seen the socket?
Yes, sir.
Or even sometimes they use union there, no, between the two pipes.
Yes, sir.
They join with a socket. Socket has got thread, both the side, this side also, other side also. But they are joined with a socket, do you think that the two pipes will really be touching each other? That one pipe, there will be a gap always between them. The socket creates a gap between them to accommodate the linear expansion, which may take place during summer. The two pipes will never touch each other exactly like this. Otherwise, the pipe will break. Hope you understood it. Same reason, same logic. And they are showing there is a process called riveting. Riveting. What is riveting? I'll tell you about that. Riveting. Riveting. They have given the book riveting. Riveting. Riveting is the process of joining two iron girders. Iron girders is, that big bar of iron. One bar, another bar, they are joined together firmly with one another with the help of nut and the screw. That process is called riveting. So I give one example of riveting. Okay, how it is done. How it is done. Okay, let us take these two things I want to join together firmly so that they are holding each other very firmly like this. Very tightly they are touching each other or holding each other. What I will do for it, I'll take two long girders usually made up of iron. One hole I'll make here, one hole I'll make here, and one hole I'll make here. And between the holes, we will be putting inside there'll be a screw or there, or maybe bolt. Bolt will be there, and we'll be having a nut, we'll tighten it. Okay, and how it is done, I'll show you that. This one and this one, there'll be hole here at the end, here also there'll be one hole. Okay. We will be hitting them, hitting these two ends. This here also I will hit, here also I will hit. After we hit, they expand. Once they expand, we'll keep one of the iron girder over the other, exactly like this. so that holes are in the same line. Holes are in the same line. Then we will be fitting a bolt here. We will be fitting a bolt here like this. The bolt is passing through the hole, and we will be tightening the knot. When it is heated, that time only. And we allow it to cool. After some time, when we cool it, we know that the contraction will take place. This iron girder and this iron girder, or this metal and this metal, they will be, contraction will take place. They will be now clutching each other very tightly like this, very firmly. This process is called riveting. This process is called riveting. Have you understood it, boys? Please check the diagram given here. Can you see the diagram? They're showing two plates. One plate and the another plate. Okay. Initially, both of the plates will be heated, and one drill through the driller will make holes, and between the two holes we will be fitting a maybe a bolt. We are fitting a bolt here. Just check, and head to head you are fitting, and then you are from the bottom you can tighten a knot. Or sometimes we do the repeat. You know the repeat. Repeat the hammer the repeat and all. Sometimes in a metal and all, they will be holding each other very firmly. After cooling, the rivet will be, attracting each other. Contraction will take place. Both of them will be clutching each other very firmly or very tightly. This process is called riveting. Understood, boys? Yes. Say fast.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, now you also must have seen between the two poles, maybe the electric wires, which is made up of metals like aluminum and all. Between the two wires, how are the wires kept? Are they kept very tight or they are kept loose? Tell me, how are they kept between the two poles?
Sir, little loose. No, sir. Tight,
They
tight,
are kept
tight.
loose. Not very tight. They are kept loose. Just they are showing the diagram also. Electric wires in summer. So during summer, not very loose also, but little loose only. They don't keep it very tight. During summer, what happens? There will be expansion. Wire will become slightly more loose with expansion. And during winter, particularly during winter, they become tight. And if you keep already them very tight, if you keep already the wires very tight, during winter, due to contraction, the wire will be contracting and will break. So we keep margin for contraction even, so that due to contraction in winter, wires should not break. That is the whole idea about it. Have you understood? It's already kept loose,
Yes,
but not
sir.
slightly loose. But in summertime it will become more loose. But still, it will not be hanging too much, and it will not be touching the ground. But during winter time, they become tight. The wires will become tight due to contraction, because on cooling the substance contracts, and once they contract, so the wires become tight. And if they are already tight, there is a very high chance that the wire may break, or they may pull the force this way. Contraction will even may pull the force, and the force may fall, may collapse. So this is the whole idea. I think you understood it. No, it's very easy, and you have seen it in your daily life. We have this kind of situation. No. The key point is the substance expands on heating and contracts on cooling. So just now, whatever I discussed, it was all about the linear expansion. We did about the linear expansion, length-wise expansion or contraction. I dealt with that part today. So next class, I will be dealing with the area expansion and the volume expansion. Definitely, the linear expansion and the area expansion only solid can have. Liquid and gases, they do not have length, they do not have area, so it will not take place. But the volume expansion will take place in all the three: solid, liquid, and gases. Normally, the liquid or the gases, they expand volume-wise. They do not have length, but their volume expands. Their capacity expands on heating, and they will contract on cooling, but volume-wise, in volume. Then they will have cubical expansion. So about that, I will talk about later, okay? All right? Understood, boys? Now, this chapter doesn't have any
Yes,
problem
sir.
and all, so it won't take much time to finish. Okay, no ray diagrams and all. These chapters are all easy only, so we won't take much time. This chapter has got also evaporations and all, and evaporation, boiling, we have done the chapter number 1, so we will not be doing it again here. Evaporation and the boiling, the differences, examples, factors affecting the rate of evaporation, we have already done, and they are coming in the exam also. So those aspects we will not touch. We have already done it in the chapter number 1. Okay?
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you,
Thank you,
Jana.
sir. Bye, sir.
Bye, sir. Bye,
Okay,
sir.
bye.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.